Hello pet parents, Robert Semro here, and I am joined by one of the longest running friends of Pet World Insider. In fact, we have cooked together, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun to not only see her growth, but all the things that she is doing. This is Dr. V from Pawcurious, but these days you are also an incredible author. All dogs go to Kevin.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about this because Kevin is very significant.
Yes. So initially, when one of my dogs passed away and I told my son that Emmett went to heaven, my son misheard me and said, well, who's Kevin and why does he have my dog? And so it turned into this long-running joke. And then a couple years later, I do have a real-life friend, Kevin, who's very dear to me, and he passed away. And it sort of took on this whole level of meaning. So we go over both of them in the book. So.
Now, what inspired you to write the book? I know you are touching so many different areas of the pet world. Why start with this book?
You know, I think it was kind of one of those things where if I only get one chance to do it, what message do I want to give? And for me, sharing these personal stories about how these dogs have served purpose in my life, I wanted it to be something that was important to me, but I thought people could really relate to. And so I hope when they read the stories, they learn something, they see themselves in there, and they learn to appreciate and love and rejoice in their pets for who they are and what they bring to their lives.
Well, you really bring a lot of education, a lot of great stories, a lot of laughs. Pawcurious is one of my regular reads. How do you decide what it is you're going to be covering?
You know, it really depends. I've been doing this since 2009, and so within the first year I covered the vaccines and the food. I kind of get bored with that stuff, and so then it turned into a more personal thing. I've been doing hospice work as a vet for the last couple of years, and so it's nice to have the freedom now to just kind of write about whatever is on my mind, and I really enjoy that.
We certainly do as well. Now, what excites you about what's going on in the pet world these days?
You know, I think this whole new entrance into the high-end pet food is exciting to me because you're really seeing a trend of pet owners being vested in what they're giving to their pets, and they want the information and they want to know what's going into their pets' food. And so it's just a reflection of the place that these pets hold in our families, that people are willing to spend the time learning about it.
Now, you have literally traveled the world working with different pets and people. In all of your travels, has there been something that you have learned that we here in America do differently that other folks wouldn't even think about doing?
You know, it's funny when you go to some of the third world countries and they're just feeding their pets kind of scraps and they're looking at you like you're nuts, you know, because you feed pet food. And so it was a very interesting realization, because, you know, commercial pet food's only been around for what, 50, 60 years. And so it sort of helps to go back and remember that people have that. It's a much more intimate relationship when you're sharing your meal on your plate with your pets. And so that part was really interesting. Here in America, we don't sell people for cows. Someone tried to buy me when I was in Africa, so that was different. I learned I was only worth 50 cows. I was hoping 75.
You know, we would have definitely upped the offer. I promise you that. Now, I want to make sure the folks know where they can stay up to date, because you have so many, not only great pieces of information, but great things that you're doing in the pet world. What's the best way for people to follow that?
So my writing is still at pawcurious.com, and then I have a new website, drjessicavogelsang.com, and so that talks about the book and the appearances that I'll be doing to promote that. So join them both.
Well, you know what, folks, if I might here, go check this out. Dr. V is someone who always inspires us. You have got to check this book out. It's a great read. I am so proud of you and just so excited.
Thank
you for everything you're doing in the pet world. It makes a big difference.
And same to you as well.